There's a moment in Wind and Truth where something changes. Not the plot, not the character. The texture changes. Some readers hit it and stopped. Some kept going. And the fascinating thing is that both groups might be responding correctly to the exact same intentional decision. We spent a long time figuring out what that decision was and whether Sanderson made it on purpose.
What was your reaction when you hit it?
Honestly, I noticed it. I registered it as unusual, but I kept reading. It didn't pull me out, mostly because the scene was so emotionally effective that I didn't want to stop.
That's interesting, because I think that reveals something about the therapy language debate that people aren't quite naming correctly. The argument isn't purely about the word therapist. It's about a broader pattern. Kaladin's arc in this book is structured around very modern, very specific psychological frameworks. The inner world concept. The name your trauma to overcome its structure.
The process of identifying cognitive patterns and working through them consciously.
Exactly. And there's no version of Rorschach's history where that vocabulary developed organically. It's imported.
But is that actually different from what Sanderson has been doing all along? Because Kaladin's depression in Words of Radiance is written with a specificity and accuracy that clearly draws on modern understanding of depression. Sanderson has clearly read about depression or talked to people with depression or both. The accuracy of how it reads is not accidental. So in some sense, the modern psychological understanding has always been underneath the surface.
That's a really good point. And I think it actually explains the Wind and Truth reaction better than Sanderson made a mistake. In books 1 through 4, the psychological accuracy is there, but it's expressed through the story. You feel the depression because of what Kaladin does, what he can't do, what he thinks in the dark. It's translated into the world's terms: bridge runs, light eyes and dark eyes, storm-blessed curses. The modern framework is the engine, but you don't see the engine.
And in Wind and Truth, the engine is visible.
Particularly in the Shinovar sequences. The vocabulary surfaces. And once you can see the engine, the illusion changes.
So it's not that the therapy content is new. It's that the layer of fantasy translation got thinner.
And that connects directly to the broader contract question. Books 1 through 4 mediate everything through Rorschach's context. The Spren, the ideals, the Knights Radiant, all fantasy translations of real psychological concepts. Trusting yourself, admitting your failures, accepting your limitations. They're given Rasharan clothes. Wind and Truth remove some of those clothes. And readers who were here for the mediated version felt it.
Okay, but I want to make the case for what Sanderson was doing, because I think the decision to surface that vocabulary was intentional and might be defensible.
Go.
Kaladin's arc in Wind and Truth is specifically about healing. Not finding the strength to fight again, healing, real healing. The kind where you sit in a room and someone helps you name the things that are wrong. And if you're going to write that honestly, you need to get specific. Because the vague fantasy version of healing, and then the hero found peace, is exactly the kind of thing that is actually harmful to readers who are struggling with the same things Kaladin is struggling with. It's too neat. It doesn't show the work. And I think Sanderson was trying to show the work. And showing the work required language specific enough to be recognizable.
I think that argument is right, and I think it's a little separate from whether therapist specifically was the right word choice. The psychological specificity can be achieved without that particular term. So the question is whether Sanderson chose the immersion-breaking word deliberately to make it more recognizable, more direct, more useful to readers who are in that place, or whether it just didn't occur to him that it would land that way.
I think he knew. I think he chose it on purpose.
Why?
Because he's talked about Kaladin's mental health content very deliberately in his author notes and signing events. He said explicitly that he wants people who are struggling with depression to see themselves in Kaladin. And if you want someone who is in the middle of that to see themselves, you might need to use the word they use. A Rosharan word they've never heard might not reach them the same way.
That's actually a stronger defense of the choice than anything I've heard in any of those Reddit threads.
I've had some time to think about it.
But I don't think it's as clean as he was right to do it, or he shouldn't have done it. The fandom discourse keeps treating this like a verdict, guilty or not guilty. And I think it's more like a trade. He traded immersion for directness. Some readers got the better end of that trade, some didn't.
Is the therapy language thing connected to the contract thing? Like, is it a symptom of the same shift? Or is it its own separate issue?
I think it's a symptom. The thing that changed in Wind and Truth, on multiple levels, is that the mediation thinned. The ensemble was there, but less foregrounded. The translation layer was there, but more transparent. It's the same Sanderson, the same care, the same ambition. But something turned more direct, more exposed. And Therapist is the most visible example of that shift. But it's not the only one.
The mediation thinned. That's a really precise way to say it.
Thank you. I've been workshopping it for 4 days.
Of course you